We're back again for another Age of Mythology Retold point of view game. This time is Iron Magic as Isis versus Recon as Gaia. So the previous video was actually the same matchup with the same people from Recon's perspective where he was playing the Gaia. Now I want to watch from Magic's perspective because these guys play two games. So this is a completely different game with the same matchup. The map is Savannah, so slightly different map, still a land map, still on with decent hunt on it. But we want to see how Magic plays Isis, and he is one of the best Isis players out there, even back to the old game. So we will see actually how his build differs to Recon's Isis that we saw in a video very recently. So he decides to go for the 2 villages or 3 villages straight to the food, then does the 1 gold mine, building the mining camp. The next villager goes on to do the Savannah tree to get the 8 wood, which is enough to get yourself pickaxe, and then straight over there, not deciding to go with any early monument. Whereas what we saw from Recon was he was getting a very early monument with all 3 villagers into the food, and then got that the wood slightly later for the early pickaxe. So very interesting just to see different strategies. Now, something that the not early monument does give you is it gives you the ability to put an obelisk up straight away. One thing with building a monument is it spends all your gold, so it means you have to wait a little bit before building that obelisk. And we saw from the last game, even though it was from Recon's perspective, we saw how many obelisks Magic actually put up. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to put up as many early on as he wants to because he has to walk these goats home, but it's absolutely vital that you do. You don't want to lose those guys. And looks like he's not valuing an early monument at all. Whether or not he's going for some kind of early advance time into second town center without the monument. One thing that you, obviously with the monument, it costs extra gold, it costs extra food to put up. So if you don't spend that, then you can advance earlier, put your temple up earlier, and then get a quick settlement. I mean, this one, it does have a gold mine kind of close. I don't want to look at the rest of the map. We'll see as Magic finds it. But maybe there'll be another town center that's pretty good. This one, we don't really see if there's anything on it. And we will let the priest unveil the map as we go. Looks like he's put up the monument now. So he's putting up the monument later, putting maybe in certain spots where he wants the Carnivora, the Caladria Carnivora, that's the one, to not sit in. So maybe that's why he wants to put it over here. More valuing the actual positioning of the monument to the villagers rather than just slapping it up straight away, which can understand. Or maybe he's just put it up slightly later. Who knows? And then he's got Spies the Oracle there. Getting a nice view of every town center. Every town center, nothing really has much on it, to be honest, but hey-ho. There is also a choice about getting Flood of the Nile first or a temple first. There are some times where I like to get a temple up pretty quick and then get the Flood of the Nile afterwards. So maybe that's just something that Magic wants to go in for. He will be getting the 4:30 advance time if he wants it, or maybe going later if he wants to go for some one town center play. But no, he's gone through Bast, and then he's moving all his villagers over to the gold mine, which means that he'll be able to get a second town center if he wants to at that 4:30 mark. Can also drop another monument down, which is exactly what he does. Also defending his base with some houses, spamming those bad boys up. He just wants his houses. He doesn't mind where they are. He wants them on the back, and he wants to build them. You see some goats coming forward here. Recon with the kind of standard 355 build. That's kind of what we normally see from these Atlantean players. I like the 355s. You can advance pretty quick without really trying with Atlanteans. And we saw from the last game, actually, Recon wanted to go for a second town center. But this time he's gone through and got the spider lair from Leto. So going in with those automatons instead. So we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, we can see when that's placed down, even though we are watching from Magic's perspective. He wouldn't know when that god power gets dropped, though. So that's just something to bear in mind. And we do see some of the villagers running through and getting a town center. Only going with 3 villagers. Okay, here we go. 7 coming through. Just wanted to make sure he had the gold. And then straight over to this settlement over here. So the monument to the villagers going up here is obviously in a position that he values, and he probably lost out on, I don't know, a couple of minutes worth of food. because his Flood of the Nile was a little bit later. So maybe let's just call it 100 food that he's probably lost out on. I think it is one food per second. So we'll call it a minute and a half-ish. 100 food. But then gets the placement of these obelisks. Of these monuments, sorry. And then he's getting the back settlement. On the last game, he also got the back settlement. When you advance a bit later, like 4:30, it is a bit tough to get the forward ones, especially if you're expecting maybe the Carnivora. Trying to get a little bit of damage off with the Sphinx here. Because Recon does not have the ability to heal up quickly with the burst heal. He will be able to heal up all his villagers with this Lush, though. So you need to get a decent amount of damage off. If you do any chip damage, it will just get healed up. If, you know, half HP a unit, it will be absolutely fine to eventually get up to full HP. But Sphinx just having a cheeky butchers around, just having a look. And we do see that this is some nice back hunt, actually. Is there also back hunt this side? No, it's just a goat. So there's so much hunt here. One little wall here, little cheeky wall, and all of this is absolutely free. Also, Magic decides he definitely wants that. This is a little bit out in the open and doesn't really give... I mean, it does give 100 food, actually, but the monkeys seem to spread out, and Magic doesn't have any military units yet. So if he is pressured off by Recon with some kind of automaton push or something like that, you really don't want to be in the front until you know exactly what's happening. Here, a citizen will be able to deal with this Sphinx pretty easily. He's just being annoying with it, but just trying not to lose it either. Just keep some HP, because Egypt can always bring it back and heal it back up with the priest or the pharaoh. So fine. Market coming up, just to go to the next stage. And moving on to the 2-town center, fast heroic, kind of the old bread and butter. Or he's going for a 3-town center, and I just... Is he going to wait until this guy goes down? No, he doesn't care that Recon knows he's going for 3-town centers. I kind of love it. That you just go, yep, this is what I'm doing. Now deal with it. In Retold, you don't know when your opponent's got a town center unless you go and scout it. So if Recon didn't send anything here, he wouldn't know that actually happened, unless he's an absolute god at reading the score, which it wouldn't surprise me if some of these top guys are, to be honest. They are very, very good at that sort of thing. We do see the priest coming through, a bit of harassment. We do see that this the healing does come through. Oh, Automaton trying to come and repair. Oh, unlucky there. He's got some scary red eyes. But the priests will be able to deal with that pretty quickly. Pharaoh coming over even. The Pharaoh does a surprising amount of damage, and the citizen, you need to respect the Pharaoh, Mr. Tutmos. He is a scary boy, and you need to run away from him. So now we have the 3-town center boom coming through. 3 TCs before 8 minutes. Nice play. Now, if you do go for 3 TCs, it's very difficult to get to the 3rd age, and Magic definitely knows this, so he's going, okay, I'm going to build some barracks units and play from there instead. Now, the reason for that is you've spent the extra gold on town center itself, but then you're also spending so much extra food that it's just very difficult to actually get there. You can get there if you were to use your prosperity, so maybe he could have just done that instead. But kind of wants to still build these barracks because he's still going to have to wait 75 seconds to actually get to Nephthys, which is exactly what he wants to do here. So he needs to wait 75 seconds before he can build a Migdal to then build some units out of that. So that's why the barracks are here, just in case he needs them. Spearmen train pretty quickly. Unfortunately, we can't see. They train in 12 seconds. So yeah, you can train those pretty quick. If you slap a pharaoh on it, it's like half the time. So if he needs units, he can get them out, no problem. Deciding to say 2 monuments kind of makes sense considering the amount of town centers that he's invested in. Just investing more in more monuments is a little bit scary. Do see this is the upgrade that gives more pierce armor, isn't it? Yeah. So this is from Recon. He's getting the Leader upgrade, which gives you more pierce armor, which is maybe he's expecting to be hit by some chariot archers, like he was in the first game, where Magic went pretty heavy on those chariot archers. We're also seeing the Edge of Wet, which is the nice. We do now see the spider layers coming into play, but it's the nice wood upgrade where you just get some 10% extra bonus damage, and yeah, the bonus damage. 5 bonus damage versus a tree, 10% extra gathering. I love the extra damage versus a tree. Basically, you just one-shot a tree, and it just takes less time to actually chop it down. Basically, just more efficient is essentially what's happening there. Also, saving the prosperity, trying to get shaft mine in. After you get shaft mine in, if you use prosperity, you get a massive boost. So that is what Magic, I assume, is looking to do. Obviously, if you get quarry in, you get even more. But I mean, that's waiting to get to Mythic Age, and you kind of want to use it as a tempo play. Migdal up. Are we going to see some chariot archers or some camels? That is the question. It looks like there are some spearmen coming out, so it's probably going to be chariot spearmen. It's a pretty nice comp. Siege works coming up. We do see the Cantarius coming around the corner, and these obelisks have already paid themselves off with being able to see this raid coming from an absolute mile away. But the spearmen can come home and try and defend. I mean, with the amount of watchtowers here, the villagers are all sat around the town center. So if they just garrison in, they'll be absolutely fine. And nothing to really worry about here. Obviously, the Migdal stronghold is here. And it looks like it's going for an Ancestor's Eclipse to defend. Get some elephants going down here. Ancestor's Eclipse to defend isn't as bad as it seems. It does last for 50 seconds, so all of these guys will eventually spawn in, and then he can just waddle them forward to actually get some pressure on. He's already getting some pressure on this town center here, pushing off this gold mine also. I assume Recon's probably defending the gold mine over there and just sacking this position, but still, Magic needs to get the damage done. Takes out one villager. Probably going to try and do the same as he did in the first game and try and just take down that second town center. Nice and swiftly. Scorpion Men gets taken over, but I mean, the amount of priests would still be better to take the siege tower, I reckon. I don't know. Just feel like it's nice, but I mean, there's a decent amount of minions that could just turn on it pretty quickly. The priests are also in to heal the siege towers if they get attacked by these citizens. Citizens taking them down so quick, especially the heroes. And unfortunately, because of that, the priests are out of position, and they are going to get teared down from the Cantarius. So does get a decent amount of damage to that town center, but unfortunately just cannot take it out. Cantarius too strong with this upgrade as well, the extra pierce armor. Do they have copper shields? So that's basically like having bronze shields or even iron shields potentially. Second behemoth in also after all those priests went down. Needs to get more priests out. Does he have any upgrades for the priest? No, hasn't decided to go for any priest upgrades. You could get Nebty dealing more damage. You could get Valley... It's not called Valley of the Kings. It's this one, Funeral Rites. I can't hover over it, but I just remembered Funeral Rites, which is getting extra gold back when your units die. Which, if you're going for barracks units, I really like it. Especially with these 20 gold spearmen, you get 8 gold back. You're basically getting half your investment back. Here it comes, 42 on the gold. These guys could even go on gold for 50 seconds if he really wants to. Also, yeah, like 60 on gold, and the gold is just going to skyrocket here, and it's already being spent on priests. It's being spent on mercenary cavalry, which he definitely needs to defend this position. There's a decent amount of heroes in, but there are no Scorpion Men over here. He can also go for a second prosperity straight afterwards if he really wants to, which is something that I love doing. You get some super value from it. Camels aren't upgraded, but they can tank the archers pretty well. Doesn't have any upgrades on those bad boys just yet, and it looks like the town center will go down. This is what I won't. Oh, the Cantarius, even just a couple of Cantarius shots there was like 50 damage left on this town center. Both players have gone for some aggression onto the forward town centers, and both of them have been denied by a sliver of HP both times. So many gold miners here, just trying to get rid of all of this gold, so Magic's pressure doesn't matter as much before he wants to move over to somewhere else. But it looks like he is going to have to leave, which takes all of these villagers, makes them idle for so long. There is some gold in the bank for Recon. Obviously, Magic doesn't know that, but that's nice for him. Also, disrespecting it slightly, because he thinks that Recon thinks he can get rid of these units, which he probably can, to be honest. The priests don't deal much damage, and Magic will have to leave. Chariots coming in, though, with their ballistics. Heavy chariots, copper shields, siege towers. This is the classic army of Isis, just the pushing army, the wooden gold army. We see the macro, which is 15 wood, everything else gold. Could even drop a prosperity in a hot second if he really wants to, and then basically enough food to get villagers and the odd spearmen. That's it. Actually, he has got full villagers, so he doesn't really need many on food unless he's going to the last age, which he probably does want to do at some point to get that Son of Osiris out and the extra camels, or even go through Thoth, get a meteor on a position to get rid of some palaces, get rid of some units. Is very, very nice. And here we go, the siege tower's taken. This is exactly what we wanted to see before, because the chariot archers don't deal much damage to it, but the villagers are in, so maybe it's maybe it's not the play, but we love to see it anyway. Once the Cantarius are down in a straight 1v1, I think the Arcus win based on population, but based on a strict 1v1, because the chariots are 3 pop, they do beat the Arcus there. So if it's a straight, yeah, population, Arcus win, but straight 1v1, it'll be the chariots that win that one. Mercenary do come out just to push them up a little bit. We do see Migdal Stronghold up in the face and some walls to stop Recon mining from this gold mine. He has mined for 1,000, so he hasn't been here for as long as I thought, to be honest. I thought he would have been here for quite a lot longer. And the chariots coming straight in, and they pretty much one-shot these units. These poor donkeys are going to go down, but the palace should go up, and then they can hide in it for a little bit. But oh my god, so many of them go down. Tarius coming around the back, but there is a wall that he can easily just make a gate through and be absolutely fine to run away with these chariots. But trying to get a little bit of a counter raid off, but there isn't that many on that gold mine. They're pretty spread out amongst every gold mine there is, even just still some in the home gold mine. I mean, also this. So much gold in the bank also. And probably go up to the next stage when he decides to. Now the choice here is, do you pressure this gold mine and just make sure that you can take this position out, or do you just send everything down here? I mean, I guess there's still 2,200 left, so Recon could do a lot with that gold, so it's probably just worth it just to keep going here. But these units of the Gaia are just healing up ever so slowly because they're stood on this lush. So the chariots need to just snipe things down dead. They can't do a little bit of damage to them. Does manage to push the citizens off as well. And there's no citizens mining from this side, so Recon's in a bit of trouble for gold. Actually, we do see that he does have 15 on gold somewhere. Magic doesn't see where that is. Do we see where that is? Snuck over to the side. So he is doing a bit of sneaking, just not over this side. Just a gold mine that Magic hasn't spotted, and that's what these top level guys do. They do sneak around with their gold mines. And how most of the gold mines actually spawn with 2 next to each other, maybe Magic will know that there should be one over here, especially with the lush. Do see a big raid coming up. Magic responds to it very, very nicely. Does manage to take the town center down also. Getting those Pierce Armor upgrades in. Archer Wars is in. It seems like a lot of these top level games currently are using a lot of Archer spam, so get those Archer upgrades as and when. It's also got a dock up, and something so good about Egypt is if you're in the 3rd age, you get this guy for free, and he fits 20 units in. So rather than having to build a dock and then get a transport ship in to go around some kind of wall, what you can do is just build a dock. You can go straight in it, and it's I don't know, it saves you the time. Just feels like you've kind of played the system. And it looks like Magic isn't building too many more units, just if he wants to go up to the next age, or if he's just deciding what unit he wants to build. Not like you need to do it right now, because he is winning in the population battle, so it isn't like he needs to spam out units. But he will if Recon's going to get some kind of defender's advantage from this. But it looks like he is kind of throwing away a couple of his horses there. Palace is up down the bottom, so that's pretty well secured until the siege towers can get down, or even the camels can get down, do a little bit of raids there. Random fat goat chilling down the bottom. And Magic's in a pretty good position for this one, taking four town centers. And there it is. There is the prosperity. I said that it would come through eventually. This gold mine's going to go, and the Pharaoh getting his job done. Tutmos, he's done well this game. And everything coming down to this gold mine. This one is going to be the next gold mine on the cards. But Magic's just going to come through here. He did see, maybe he saw the lush, maybe he just knew that that was happening. Oh, he did send one camel around just to have a little cheeky look-see. Also, heavy camels going to meet some Cantarius down there. Just leave those be. Recon's still trying to get a decent amount of raids off. He's someone that doesn't like to just give up, wants to try everything, so definitely needs to get those raids off. If you're behind, this is something that you need to do. Even if you're ahead, you want to raid whenever you can. Or run straight into a Migdal. All of these poor donkeys are going to go down. Gold mine finish, 4 town centers to 2 town centers. This is the last position that Recon really has, and the towers have gone up right in the face. These guys will go down too. Looks like there's plenty of resources also just to get that 260 population. Could go up to the last stage, but it's just better just to spam out everything, full pop it, and just send everything you have to the gold mine. Looks like Recon did try and sneak over to this one also. Maybe he can even ring around the rosy, go down here. Looks like it's also trying to get this one. I think Recon is winning this fight, or was up until all of the units came over here. Trying to get a nice little raid off here, knowing that Magic's probably going to want to come over here. And as soon as that Migdal goes up, probably knows that that is it. Did manage to sneak this one, and also did think about doing a ring around the rosy to this gold mine with only 2k in it. Really well played by Magic. I loved the play of the 3rd town center in Recon's face of just, rather than waiting, he could have just waited for the automaton to walk away, and then Recon wouldn't have known that the 3rd town center was up. But Magic said, yeah, just, I'm going 3 TC, deal with it. And I love it. We can see maybe the eco. We can see what the 3rd town center does, and it just goes boom and takes over, and that's it. Moose in the blue. He got the victory, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.